Hello, Minecraftians, and welcome to another episode of Realms News. I am your host, the Dark Lord, the one who puts the real in realm and expands your mind one block at a time. And today I have a great episode. I have MichaelTBH back on the show to discuss the 1.21 update, Tricky Trials. Are you all ready? Let's get started, folks. Michael TBH, as he's referred to on Twitter, or that's his handle. Welcome back, Michael, to Realm News. It's been a long time.
It has. Welcome. Welcome. Yeah, welcome to the show. It's my show now. No, it's good to be here. It has been a long time. I think the last time we were here, 1.21 was in development and not like announced to be releasing. Like we were just like speculating, oh, it'll release then or stuff like that. So now it's out, and we're looking forward to the future of Minecraft. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited, and you are correct. We were just speculating and guessing when it was going to be released, and yeah, it was a huge update. It was, to me, a huge update. I took a huge gap off from Minecraft, so you're more familiar with like some of their previous ones prior to
Mm,
1.21. And
yeah.
so just tell me what you've been up to lately since the new update. I just kind of wanted to get caught up with what you've been doing in your world, what's been going on there. I kind of understand from Twitter what you've been doing, and I understand that you underwent some issues that I kind of want to talk about right out the gate before getting into the 1.21 part. I
Yeah.
know that
So
was very troublesome.
it was. It was. So, like, for context, we're recording this like a week after Bedrock Edition had some major. Like, I've never known. Edition has been around for a while, and it's always been very, very odd. Like the
Has
way
it?
it's structured. Yeah. Very like flimsy, I guess you could say.
Mm.
Um, but last week they were like, "Here, have two updates in one."
Yeah,
I don't
what
know the
were they
specific
both?
names.
What were they? Oh, exactly. It was like the mine carts, right? Was that part
Yeah,
of it?
that was the snapshots. This was like ironically enough, these updates were like bug fixes, which is kind of ironic given what happened straight afterwards. But it was
That
like,
is ironic.
we're going to fix a bunch of bugs. It's all going to be like great. And the opposite, like the entire game, when I say the entire game just like shut down, I mean the entire game.
Completely.
Just pretty much you couldn't play it.
Almost. You're right.
Yeah. Like that's so like in terms of like you playing a general world without realms, because they had their own issue, which we'll get into, a lot of the worlds were just deleted. Now, this isn't anything new, but it's still very
Really?
annoying. Yeah, they
Like
were just vanished.
this happened to many people.
Yeah, a lot
I
of people.
I didn't realize that. I
Yeah,
had no idea. Wait, that was all during the same week with all the bug fixes?
yeah.
Wow.
So I think this was less spoken about though, because the other issues were so much bigger and meant a
Because
lot
it
more.
because it was paid, the Realm subscription.
Exactly.
I'm sure that's why they're bottom dollar.
Yeah, 100%. Like you had, so like obviously in a business perspective, like Microsoft are like, okay, worlds that get deleted, but it's not the end of the world. People can make new ones. And they don't really bothered about that.
Hmm.
But once it's like realms are down and the marketplace was also down, you got a big problem, a
Yes.
massive problem on your hands. Um, and it's just like, I don't know, I don't play realms, but from my understanding, you couldn't really play. Like it was just
No, we
impossible.
couldn't. That's all I play on is Realms. And I
Yeah,
did that because I wanted my brother to get on any time. Um,
yeah,
but we were, at least for me, it was sketchy. It was very sketchy. It was I'll just chime in here for a second, then I'll let you get back at it, Michael.
yeah, of
But
course.
like but for like on my end, I know the first couple days it was pretty much completely blackout. And then like the third day, it would let me come on sometimes, but it
Mm.
was very at times jerky and weird. And then when I'd log off, it wouldn't let me come back on. And sometimes it would if I tried 2 times. And then
Oh,
that's the only way. Like they announced they fixed it like 3 days in a row.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I would try it out, and it would let me on sometimes, but I didn't want to risk it, so I just stayed off because I was kind of worried it would somehow corrupt my world through realms. I just out of ignorant paranoia, you know. But yeah, it did affect us. I think they just announced what yesterday or this morning that it's 100% up and running.
yeah. So, like you mentioned, they spent like 3 days in a row, back to back to back, saying everything's fine, and then literally hours later, that announcement, they'd be like, "Turns out not everything's fine.
Wow.
What do we do?" Basically, like this is what I don't like about Minecraft Twitter is their communication is so bad. It is so bad. Like they don't know how to communicate with the player base, and it's like
Mm.
I don't even play Realms, like I say, and I'd have just appreciated. Look, this is what's going on. We're doing this to fix it, but you just had the classic like corporate like, thank you for your understanding. You know, we're working
Yes.
through it. Um, Thanks for being patient. And it's like, that's not good enough for like the most popular game in the world with a very popular paid service. Because you have to remember, a lot of people play Realms. You know, a lot of
A
people get
lot.
on during the weekends and play Realms. They're very popular, you know, especially with like the marketplace editions as well. Realms are
Hmm.
so popular. They always have been.
It makes
When that shut
sense.
down, it does, yeah. When that shut down, you've got a huge chunk of your player base completely alienated from playing Minecraft for what was an entire week, and that's just not good enough. Um, Obviously, like as you say, it was just so weird. Like I remember them saying like, "Oh, it's back for 70% of the players," and it's like you're reading that, and it's like, yeah, but what about the other 30%? Like it
Yeah,
doesn't. If you're reading that and you're part of that 30%, you don't care about the 70%. You just want to play Minecraft, you know?
exactly.
And it's like, I don't know.
You enlightened me though. I had no idea about the minority of people that the people that weren't on realms and their worlds just going away, just being deleted.
Yeah, it was very bad, very
That's
very bad.
horrible. Yeah, and you did make a good point that from the business side, Microsoft, and I don't want to bash them or anything, but
No,
I get like, from the business end, yeah, they're going to focus on realms. And like you said, they can just make new worlds, these other people. But that's not
yeah,
how it goes. You get extremely attached to your world. Like you understand this.
yeah.
Um, and so is that how your world was compromised?
No, so for context for listeners, my world that I've had for almost 2 years, almost, I say almost in like strong bold italics, was
Hmm.
completely like wiped off the map.
Hmm.
Um, the way I do it is I have the main world and then like a copy of the world. And I can't exactly because this was like now like two or like 1 or 2 weeks ago.
Hmm.
Um, but I was like, okay, I I normally have like a creative world just to like look around and just to make sure that I can like take screenshots and stuff like that. And I wanted to make another backup, so I deleted one of the copies.
Mm.
Um, and in my head, I was like, okay, I deleted that, and I've already made a second copy. I didn't.
Oh no.
So I was like, okay, let me log onto this world. I'll make this one creative. That was the only world I had left, was the creative
Oh,
world.
oh my gosh.
Um, Now, I went on this whole like tirade, and I did apologize for this to Twitter because I went like ballistic, man. I was so livid because I was like, this is just like 2 years gone, pretty much.
I understand your
Um,
panic. You just hit your 10,000 day mark.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I also hit 10,000 days. This was like day 10,000 and like 70-ish.
Yeah.
That just happened. So I was like, okay, I need to try everything, like everything. So I contacted Microsoft support. I mean, that does nothing, it's because again, they had that whole issue with realms and stuff like that. So they were never going to contact me.
Mm.
Um, and we tried like very technical stuff. I say we because a lot of people tried to help me out with this. Um,
You had your whole
ended up,
Discord.
yeah, the whole Discord server pretty much was like, okay, we'll do this, do this, do this. And I was sitting there just like, I don't know what to do. Um, eventually we came to the conclusion, like, it's some like different, if this was like on Windows or Android, I could probably get that world back. But because it's on console, there's some technicality with it where I couldn't.
I
Um,
see.
so I was like, well, I'm done. So then like a few days afterwards, I was like, well, I can't just up and leave. I had people like come to me and were like, you can't do it like this. That's just a dumb idea. Like, you can't just throw everything away. So I was like, well, what do I do? You know,
Yeah.
I was like, I can't create a new world. I ended up doing that, but it just felt so weird.
I saw
Like,
that you started that. And
yeah,
I felt the empathy for you in that.
yeah. Like, it was just like the world felt off. It just didn't look right to me. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to take a few days and just reset.
Hmm.
Um, and I thought about it, and I've asked a lot of people as well. Like, it doesn't matter, does it? Like, having it in creative doesn't matter. But at the time, I was like, you're gonna have people question your legitimacy because I've got stuff on that world like a Neverite beacon. I've killed all the dragons because there's like 20-ish dragons apart from the main one you kill.
I see.
Um, 64 beacons for the 10K day anniversary thing. So it's like I'm always gonna have people. I haven't yet, but this has only been like a week into it. I'm always gonna have people being like, "You did this in creative," or "You duplicated for this," or "You done that." Um, so that'd be like my rebuttal to people, and I had people saying, "Well, who cares?" Like, people would throw around like, "I've had the world in creative before," or "I've like had add-ons before." Who cares? This is your world, and it's like you're right, you know?
Exactly. That's to me the beauty about Minecraft is just you can play it however you want. And to me,
Mm,
you have putting your world in creative. I don't know. That doesn't matter. Of
no,
course, like you said, you're going to come across critics. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I've had a couple about my own show personally, but that doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? It's how you play it if you get enjoyment out of it. I completely understand not wanting to
yeah,
start a whole new world from scratch after investing 2 years into something.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
and what you just went to creative, and I mean, you just don't have achievements. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's the only difference,
Yeah,
right?
and achievements don't really do much for the game. Like all they do for Bedrock is like character customization items.
Yeah, like we were talking about before we started recording today.
Mm,
We were talking because I was asking, it's like, do they even do anything? Because for the longest time, like almost a year, I didn't even know achievements existed in Minecraft. And then when I did find them, I haven't used them ever. I just thought it was a cool little perk to get these little titles. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I personally don't think achievements mean much, but that's just to me. It doesn't affect how I play the game at all.
no.
But do you
I mean,
have
like,
any? So coming through this, you're able to get your world back. Um, how were you able to do that exactly? You just took it from creative mode and
yeah, so the creative world was always here, but I was like, I'd look at it and be like, I can't play this. Like, I can't, like, it's just like, I can't play it at all. And then when I made a new world, I was like, in the back of my head, I'm like, should I delete the creative world or survival? I'm going to call it survival because that's what it is. It's not creative, it's survival.
yeah,
Um, should I delete the world and move on? I was like, and then a part of me was like, no, you're going to regret doing that. And I'm
I'm
so
glad you
glad
didn't.
I didn't.
I'm glad you didn't
Because
either, Michael.
I came so close to being like, let's just move on completely. And if I'd done that, I'd be like, the world I showed, the new world I showed on Twitter that people didn't like me talking about.
They
I'd have
didn't
been like
like it.
diamond armor. Yeah, because I put like a tweet out showing the map of the world, and I was like, what am I supposed to do in this
Ice
world?
with the ice
Um,
one.
yeah, and it's like, I had a few like witty replies, and it's like some of them were like, "Well, just survive." And I was like, "No, I'm talking about like building. What am I supposed to build on that
Mm,
on that map? I can go outside the map, of course, but on that map, there's like no land. I'm in the only land there is, like the only like forest area.
mm.
The entire world is just swamp, which is nice for like validity balance when that eventually comes into the game, and ice.
I saw that. I saw a lot of
Like,
ice, which is yeah, I understand. Probably not the best world because you do love to build some big structures.
yeah, and it's like I like to like with Minecraft, I do a lot of storytelling, and it's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I can do like a Game of Thrones thing,
That's what
where
I
it's
was
like,
just thinking.
yeah, but it's like, I don't know if I want to like do that. It's just like,
Ned Stark.
yeah, exactly. Like go on a Night's Watch and stuff like that. It's just like,
That'd be kind of cool.
yeah, it would have been, but it's like it just didn't. There's a lot of things when I create a world. There's a lot of things I look for, and like I had like a checklist, and that world had like one thing, and that was it.
Yeah, I think you made a wise decision, Michael, and going
Yeah.
ahead and continuing on. And I'm glad that you did. But during okay, let's just so you're able to get your world. Do you have any tips for players to avoid that issue?
Um, I'd say always back up your worlds, and not just once if you can, because I know like big worlds, you probably won't be able to do it multiple times, but I would do it once or twice, like two copies, um, just in case. Put it on a realm as well. I know, realms that were down this past week as we're recording this. Um, but realms will always supply you with a backup. Um, also like on an external drive, like a memory disk or something like that. USB, do that, go the extra mile because again, anything can happen with your world. Like it could
Hmm.
just vanish without you touching it. It's literally that unpredictable on Bedrock. It's like spaghetti coded. Like it's so unpredictable and mess.
Well,
So
that's good to
yeah,
know. And with the hard drive, I didn't realize that you could back that up to a hard drive, an external hard drive. I mean, I don't know why I didn't think about that, but
yeah, I'm pretty sure you can. I'm just not smart enough to do it.
yeah, I
But
guess I'm not either. That's probably why I've never thought about that. But that's good to
mm,
know. I'm sure some people out there will appreciate that advice. I know my brother, he plays on a console and he had issues last year. He lost a massive world and it devastated him. Tech
yeah,
support with Mojang did not help him. It was almost a similar issue to what you experienced. And he found a way himself because it happened. He lost a whole entire world, and so he created another one, built that up. It crashed again, and tech support didn't help him again. But he was
mm,
able to find a way, and I know he discussed that on one of these episodes months ago, how to find your world again, but it was through a backup copy. Like
yeah,
he did mention that, but uh, they they also need to move that delete button or have like, are you sure you want to delete? You
yeah,
know,
100%, 100%.
that just
It should
makes
be like,
sense.
yeah, like they're doing slightly off topic, but also on topic. On the preview, where they're adding hardcore mode, right? And they've got like special indicators to show you that it's hardcore. Like there's like a border around the world, like the
Yeah,
hearts, stuff like that. They should do that with the delete world. It should be red, like a red button, and
yeah,
then
like
it should
this
like
is
prompt you, "Are you sure?" Like all caps, "Are you sure you
yes.
want to delete this?"
Type
Um,
this password in to delete.
yeah, yeah, like literally, yeah. I'd be fine with that. If you could password lock your world, I would be absolutely fine. I would sign up for that, 100%,
Same
100%.
here. I mean, or something, just some backup mechanism
Yeah,
to. But I'm glad you got to keep your world.
yeah.
Now, I want to talk about the 1.21, and you have explored so much more of this than I have. I pretty much got familiar with the right off the hand stuff. For some reason, I have not found a trial chamber yet. And I dig a lot underground. I I guess we're gonna have to buy a map,
Yeah.
or get a map from a villager, a cartographer, and search for one. I think that's going to be on my weekend to do list. But could you tell me, like, what is your favorite feature of the new update? Like, just in general, and least favorite. Those are my first two questions for you over this 1.21.
Oh,
I know that's a very
um,
loaded one. We can come back to that later if you'd like.
no, it's a good question. I think I like the mobs the most.
Really?
Yeah, I've kind of fallen out with 1.21. Like fallen out in love with it. Like I used to hate it. Then I really liked it before release, and then playing it, I'm just like, this isn't for me. Um, so least favorite, the structure, the actual trial chamber itself.
Okay, let's back up to the favorite feature real quick. The
Mm,
mob. What about the mobs? Like, are you talking about the breeze and the
both,
bogged?
both. Yeah, I think.
Really, you were kind of a
Yeah,
skeptic about the bogged when we were talking about that
I
last.
was, I was. But with the box, like you could obviously though, like you could say, oh, it's just a reskin, and to
Yeah,
an extent that is true. But there are certain attributes that make it a lot better than a husk or stray or drowned. I hate drowns. I
I
don't
hate the
really
drowns
like.
too. I do.
I don't. I don't like. It's the thing with drowns is like you have this massive ocean, right? And the main threat, except for guardians, but the guardians are still rare, you know,
Hmm.
to an extent. Drowns spawn everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it's like you're telling me the main threat in the ocean is a zombie that's blue.
Well, now the
Like,
swamp's bogged.
yeah, but it's just like, you can't sit there and tell me that, like, it's just, anyway, I think the Bogged is the best reskinned, like, in quotations, mob ever because of just how it's designed, how it looks. It doesn't feel like a reskin.
No,
Um, because one, it's got less hearts than the regular skeleton, I think.
I
Um,
believe so.
yeah, I think it does. But then it also, because it has poison, to like balance it out, because a regular skeleton with poison would ruin your life.
Oh yeah.
Um, it shoots at a much slower rate, so you can probably kill it before it like spams you. Um, so it feels a lot better to fight against, you know?
Yeah, and it I, for all you listeners out there, let me plug the show real quick. Go back to the bogged episode and learn all about that. um, yeah,
Mm,
I had a fun time making that episode because when I was doing the research, it was the design of the bog that really intrigued me, and I remember I went into detail describing how it looked. I just I loved its appearance. I thought they did a
yeah,
great job with that, and like you said, yeah, I guess I didn't see like I wasn't looking for the comments from people over the bog during that. I didn't see anything people saying that it was just another reskin. Uh, I think it's a whole different almost entity. I don't know. I know that's in the skeleton family for sure, but
mm,
it's much more
yeah,
unique. Like you were saying, the I thought it was going to be a pain like the drowned when it populated or the swamps. I thought it was going to be like just everywhere, but I think they did a good job with its generation. Like it's I don't think it's very numerous. Its population, you know what I mean? It doesn't populate too much, so you're not getting shot by those poison arrows left and right. And that
yeah.
cooldown rate does help a lot. Well, I think that's 3.5 seconds between
It's
shots,
something like that. Yeah,
which that's that's plenty of time. You know, I mean, to get away or to attack.
yeah. And I mean, like, another thing as well is the mushrooms on its head. You can shear them,
I do like that.
which I quite like. Yeah. So, like, imagine, like, you're doing, like, a trial chamber. Maybe just, like, not the ominous one, just a regular one. And you don't have much food. Regular trial chamber, like, trials don't have much. Like, they give you, like, baked potatoes, I think. Ominous give you steak and golden carrots. But I think
Oh wow.
regular ones give you baked. And imagine that you don't get that much. You don't have much food to begin with because it's a fairly new world. Sharing
Hmm.
it uh, bogged could be the difference between you surviving and not. Mushroom stew is very good, so it
Yeah,
could be
mushroom
very
stew
useful.
is. No, you're right. And I'm curious. I wonder if people have bog farms.
Mm,
I mean, I know you can only shear them once, but I don't know how that would even work. They have farms for everything, so I was,
yeah,
you know what I mean. That was just something that popped in my head. I'm sure
yeah,
somebody out there has some type of bog farm. So you were, so you were saying well, the least favorite feature, which kind of is the trial chambers. Like, it's set
yeah.
up, it's designed. Why
It's not finished.
not finished? There's you say they need to develop it further.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like they're doing extra stuff with it. Like they're making more trap rooms, like dripstone, like traps and stuff like that. And like
Mm.
their whole a big part of it for me. This may seem really small, but it's quite. I think it's quite monumental. Is the inventory issue that they tried to put in trial chambers has not and will not work.
What
Like,
do you mean?
so at first they were like, okay, there's going to be random chests dotted around the map. Okay. They're not going to have anything in them,
Hmm.
but you can dump your stuff in them. If you don't know this, if you don't go on Twitter, if you don't go on YouTube and watch Minecraft videos, if you don't read a changelog, you're looking at these chests thinking, where's the items?
Yeah, I had
Like,
no idea about this, and I'm on Twitter all the
yeah,
time.
like, what am I supposed to do? Like, no one, a lot of people, like, Mojang don't know this. A lot of people will not know that these chests are intended for, like, dumping, like, bones, like, this random stuff you get in trial chambers. So they were like,
Interesting.
okay, we're going to solve this by having a hopper and a barrel. And it's like, that's the same thing as a chest. You're just adding a hopper to it. Like, it's just,
Interesting.
I don't get it. And it's like, to me,
So
it's like,
they're attaching hoppers to barrels in there.
yeah, like imagine like a barrel and then a hopper on top of it, and you just
Is
put items in there. And
so is it just so it's easy to just throw in large stacks of
I
items?
guess, but that wasn't the issue with the chests because chests hold 27 items. The issue is, and so do barrels. The issue is, no one is still going to know what to do with them. They're just going to think, why is there a hopper there?
Yeah, that would be interesting. Hey, at least it's a free hopper. I'd break
Yeah,
that
that's
thing
true.
down.
But it's like a lot, like a big concern with the community is the inventory problem and how Mojang are going to handle this.
And they'll
And
bring
after
us the
seeing,
bundles later.
yeah, again, what, that's just so frustrating. Bundles would have been so good for this update. They'd have been so good and they didn't. And it's just like, oh, by the way, massive update dropped. Here's bundles randomly. It's like, really? I would have much preferred 1.21 taking like 1 or 2 weeks more because it came out pretty early, I think, in June.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
I think
I'd have preferred that.
yeah, you is it
I
typically at
don't
the end
know.
of June they drop these or is it in July?
It's like it's definitely June. They do aim for June because of like holidays for like kids and stuff, and that's at prime
Hmm.
time. And it's
I
like
see.
I'd have preferred, and it has not been the best business decision, but holding off for 1 or 2 weeks and then like giving us the bundle.
Or
Instead, you're like, here's July, bundles are coming, nothing happens for a month. Radio silence about the bundles for a month. We're still working on bundles, by the way, but we don't have anything
mhm.
to show right now. 2 weeks pass, oh, here's bundles. Like,
As experimental.
what? Yeah, as experiment, you've been working on this feature for 4 years, maybe more, because Mojang do think about features way in advance.
Hmm.
But 4 years at least, you've been thinking, I'm going on a massive like tirade, but that this is a whole inventory problem, and it's
It's
like there's
easy. It's
still
easy to
a
run out of
problem.
inventory.
Yeah, especially with child chambers. Like you're smashing pots, you're like taking the barrels for like I don't know arrows, stuff like that, vaults. Mobs.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about trial chambers before we get back to bundles and the loot problem.
Yeah.
So what kind of loot can you expect to get in there? I know that you're saying that there's a problem and there's these random chests that people like myself wouldn't know why they're there. They're
Yeah.
disappointed when they open it up and there's nothing inside.
Yeah.
So so when you enter the trial chambers, are you immediately just ambushed, or how is it? Because as I said, I'm a guy that has not discovered this yet. Like,
Um,
how's the play out of this? Is it exciting? Is
I
there a
think so.
build
I'd
up?
say so. I'd say so. The way I understand it, the way I explain it is the spawners are like dormant. They're not active
Hmm,
until you're like in their vicinity. Then they just wake up.
hmm.
And some of the mobs have like faster like spawn rates. So like, for example, zombies will spawn a lot quicker. But I think the bogged and certain other mobs spawn slower. So it's like, for example, zombies, one, two, three, four. Bogged, one. Couple seconds pass. Two. Couple
Wow.
seconds pass. Like it's a lot. The way the mobs spawn is, I as much as I don't like the structure, the spawners themselves are really well done. Um, and it's like it is, I think, exciting. It can get really like there's certain mobs. I think this is just for ominous, but if you were to do an ominous one, there are like baby zombies with swords
Huh,
and with armor, and it's like no,
really?
yeah. And we're not talking just like oh leather or like literally diamond armor, diamond sword, and it's like no.
That's amazing. Wait, so so you can get a lot of loot from these.
Well, the mobs themselves, this was an issue actually at the very start. I believe it's fixed on both versions now. The mobs themselves do not drop their armor or their swords. Um,
Okay.
so
Wow.
if you were to find like a zombie with diamond helmet diamond, it's not typically full diamond. I don't think it has like half diamond, I believe. Um, so even with looting free, if you kill the zombie that's wearing half diamond with a diamond sword, it will not ever drop it.
Wow.
Um, there was an issue where you could throw for whatever, or the more realistic option is you die. You die with your Neverite armor, they pick it up, and because mobs don't drop their items,
You
if you
lost
kill
that.
them, you lost it.
Wow. And so was that a bug
Yep,
in it just in trial chambers?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, I was going to say in the
um,
overworld they at least have percentages of dropping what they're wearing, you know what I mean?
yeah. So obviously the mobs still don't drop their armor, but they will drop yours if they, for some reason, swap it out with their armor.
Wow.
Um,
No,
that was crazy.
yeah, that I'm glad they fixed that. That would be frustrating.
Yeah,
So, did you spend a lot of time playing in the trial chambers?
I did, but probably for the wrong reason. Um, with Bedrock, there was a big issue. There's one of the big benefits of the trial chambers is the mace. I'd say it is the main thing, is the mace. The main thing of the
Okay.
entire update, right? Um, I was quite lucky with the mace. I got the heavy core quite consecutively and quite quickly. Um, obviously, breeze rods, the other component you should get from breezes, you know, you'll find them in the trial chambers. But in order to make the mace really effective, there's an enchantment called Wind Burst, or
Hmm.
it is Wind Burst, yeah. Um, just makes it a lot better to use. You know, like the difference between using a regular mace and one that's enchanted with Wind Burst is huge.
So,
The
are you?
problem is,
Yeah,
yeah, go
go
on.
ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead, Michael.
I
Sorry.
was just saying, the problem is the spawn rate for this enchantment book was terrible. It was,
Really?
yeah, it wouldn't spawn. It wouldn't.
Wow.
Like, like it would take, and let's not forget this. The when it pops out of the vaults, the ominous vaults. I think it's just the ominous vaults. I could be wrong. You
The
got
breeze.
no the windburst enchantments.
The windburst. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because you get some of the loot. Obviously, is like emeralds, iron, diamond, the heavy core, for example. but a lot of it is enchantment books. The problem is, Windburst isn't the only enchantment book in the game. So you could get Smite, Punch, Power, Efficiency, and that would mean Windburst's rate would go astronomically down.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so you got that, but then you've also got the fact that you could get Smite 4, Efficiency 4, Density 4 even, which is another mace enchantment. But Windburst goes up to 3, right? And you'd only get Windburst, it's still the case, Windburst 1.
Oh,
So
okay.
combine that with the rates, and you're looking at visiting dozens, and I mean dozens of charge aimers just to get Windburst 3.
Wow. Okay.
It's crazy.
I'm not that. For some reason, I thought the wind burst was incorporated with the breeze. For some reason,
Oh, the wind charges.
the wind charges.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. That's what I was getting mixed up.
yeah.
I see. So I remember last time we were talking months ago that I asked you about the mace, what you thought and you weren't very impressed, or you weren't excited about the mace.
No,
Has that changed since?
nope.
Do you like it more, or is it
No,
no?
I don't. No.
Still a very
Um,
niche item.
yeah, like I don't use it. Like the thing that I think that could fix it instantly is if you make an enchantment. As I saw a YouTuber, Prowl, I think, very good YouTuber. Um,
Oh yeah,
like
I'm familiar with his Twitter.
yeah, he made a suggestion to me. Like I think this was yesterday by the time we're recording this, and he was like, the mace should have an enchantment that's not compatible with like the damage ones like density, wind burst, and stuff like that. But it's like you can mine bigger areas. Does that make sense? So like 3x3 areas with the mace.
By slamming
Um,
it,
yeah, like just like
that would
slam it
be
into the wall and it just makes like a crater.
that would be
Um,
pretty awesome.
that would change mining forever, in my opinion. Like
Yeah,
strip mining is dead.
that yeah, that'd be handy, and
Yeah,
I could see that being practical. I could see
yeah,
that, and it would give the mace more utility. I
yeah.
don't
Because
know.
how like like how many times have you been in a situation where you're like, oh, I'm on like 100 block cliff. There's a zombie right there that's not moving for some reason, even though they do move because they're idle. I've got the perfect opportunity to jump, not die, not miss, and
Yeah.
directly kill it.
Hopefully, it
And it's
doesn't
like,
move.
yeah, hopefully it doesn't move. Like, and hopefully I don't get shot in the air by a skeleton. And mind you, this is just a regular zombie, and you're wearing full netherite. Like, who cares? Like,
But
I just don't understand the use for it. You know?
is it more for maybe taking down the bosses, quote unquote? Like the big game hostile mobs.
Maybe, but
I mean, I've
again,
seen people, just whacking them with one hit.
yeah.
Like the Wither.
Um, but like practically speaking, let's say the end, right? The dragon.
Hmm.
You're on the tallest. I guess you'd call them end pillars, right? Um, no protection. There's no railing. Nothing at all. You're going to wait for the dragon to perch down, which is very you can't time. You don't know when it's going to happen because it happens randomly. Stand there for enough time because obviously it flies away, doesn't it? Um, you're going to wait, hope that it doesn't knock you off into the void, which it does a lot on Bedrock Edition. Hope it doesn't kill you, and you're going to one shot it. It's just like there's so many like, and you could say, well, that's what's good about the maze is that it's very skill orientated. But it's like, bro, just bed bomb the dragon, and you'll be done with it. Like it's like like it's just like you don't need
That's a
to go
lot of
through all this trouble.
variables. A lot of
Yeah,
variables at play there. I could see
yeah,
why. When we were discussing this, you made perfect sense, and for those exact reasons stated just now. I mean, I just had to ask if now that you have tried it out, if because I haven't tried it out yet either, and I was just curious to see what you thought about it now. And sounds
I
like
mean,
it
like
hasn't changed much.
no, no, I have it. I've got it like enchanted. I haven't used it in the like sense of like jumping down 60, 100 blocks. Um, I've just whacked, like literally just used it as a sword. It's just like that, like imagine using it like in a trial chamber. Trial chambers obviously they're very like wide corridors, but they're not that tall. Like,
Really? I thought they designed them for like jump off pads, for the mace.
I mean, like sure, but they're not ominous like events. You're probably not going to kill all the mobs because what you have to jump down, kill a mob, run all the way back up, or climb a ladder, jump down, kill a mob. By that time, there's more mobs spawning. By that time, you're wasting time because you can't, like it'd be quicker just to like whack them with Smite 5 or whatever, you know? It's like, and if you can use the mace properly, more power to you. I just don't understand the main, to me, it's more of like like treasure trophy item. That's what I use it for, you know?
So, 1 out of 5 stars, 5 being the best, what would you give Trial Chambers?
Or, 3, I guess.
Okay, that's not terrible. And I'm sure they're, like you said, they're trying to improve upon it, right? It's probably going to be a whole process.
Yeah, but the issue with that, there's a counterpoint to what I'm about to say as well, is why could you have not done this in the update? And it's because, I'll answer my own question, time constraints. Mojang are so, like, like, held back, trapped in time constraints. They have to do this. And it really, like, I get it, it makes sense. I know why you got to release update at a specific time, but it makes the update look so, imagine if, like, you had an end update, for example, and it's like, okay, here's 3 biomes, here's a new dragonfly, here's this, and this. By the way, 1.22.10 is going to add a new biome.
Yeah.
Like, that would look so weird. And
Yeah,
obviously, like,
it's been kind of a weird. You're right. I kind of see what you mean. They
like,
keep
it's like,
adding, like they had the massive update, and then they're adding
yeah,
like chunk after chunk after chunk. Like I can barely keep up with all the things that are going on.
yeah,
Every day I get on, it's like update 1.2, 1.223. I mean, like
yeah,
I'm like, what is? Slow down a little bit.
yeah. And it's like, again, the issue at its core is that this update, whether you like it or not, this is the truth, was just trial chambers.
Was just
It
what? Sorry.
trial chambers, the
I
structure
see.
itself. They just added. I know, like it was more in depth, and you've got pottery shards and the 2 mobs and stuff like
Trims
that.
and
But like, if you look at it at its core, it is just one structure, and they're still adding stuff to it in an update that has no relevance to 1.20. Well, I guess it does, but it's like, why? Like, it's just, it drives me insane. I don't understand what purpose, because a lot of people, obviously, I know you say you haven't explored one. A
I
lot of people
haven't
have.
found it. I'm in my old world though, and I think we discussed this. My trial chamber is probably not going to show up in where I've explored, right? Already. It probably won't.
Yes,
It
but
it it
also say like you explore, so like say your main map that you walk in, say you
mhm.
haven't explored like a part of it, and there's a trial chamber there. There's a very high chance that that trial chamber is destroyed.
Really?
Yeah, like it's cut off. But there's just a wall of deep slate blocking it,
Really
like in half. Yeah, it'll block up the spawners, the vaults. Sometimes it's happened to me.
interesting. So I
This
have
is
to
just
go way
you have to go
outside,
way out.
and that's what I'm trying to do. I just went far outside my kingdom and I'm building a whole new area and I'm
Yeah.
hoping to go and find something. You know what I mean? I would like to because like you said, this whole update is around the trial chambers. It's tricky trials, right? And
Mhm.
I haven't
Yeah.
even found one. So but I have got to play around with some stuff that it kind of brings me to the next topic of this update, the copper bulbs and the variants of copper and tough. I've really enjoyed that. I've started incorporating that into my builds, tough, which I never would have imagined before,
Oh
because I
yeah.
found it to be such an ugly block before, just
Oh, it
straight
was.
up
Yeah.
ugly, you know. And the copper, finally, we got some use. We have more use for that than just an archaeology brush, that takes one measly bar, or lightning rods. We can
Yeah.
now. I feel like I can build with those. What do you think about those variants on the tough and copper?
I love them both. I think like what they've done with Tough in particular is incredible. Like it's just a bolder, stronger looking stone brick. It's
Mm-hmm.
just it's so much like from even down to like walking on it or the sound of placing it is very
Mm-hmm.
good. The chiseled versions I really like as well.
Same.
Um, it's just like you've taken a block that, like you say, very like I don't really know what situation, like maybe for like gradients, but like I'm talking about like core builds. You can't really build a house out of tough, you know,
No, it's
previously.
soft.
Yeah, like you'd use it for like I'd use it for like pathways or like roads and stuff like that. But
Exactly.
the stone brick that you can use for like castle gradients, and stuff like that, polished as well. The
Mm-hmm.
polished version is really good. Reminds me a lot of a darker andesite.
Yes.
Um, the copper stuff, obviously, I'm too dumb to use copper bulbs with like redstone wires. Like, I have no idea how to use some redstone wires.
Oh, really?
Like I'm
Really?
clueless. Yeah.
Like how to turn
Um,
them on, or
I know to
just
turn them on, but like you know how people can make like these crazy contraptions with them and stuff like
yeah.
that.
I don't do anything
Um,
fancy. I just turn them on and leave them on.
yeah, literally that is all I do. Yeah.
Same.
Um,
Same.
like these two really like underrated and like really like ignored blocks just got some of the biggest glow ups I think I've seen in the game. They're
I
just
think so
really good.
too. I agree with you. I think, yeah, they did a knockout job. I love how not just the copper bulbs look, but what are they called? They aren't chisel or cut copper blocks, or what are
Yeah,
those
like
called?
copper grates as well.
Yeah, the copper grates. And do those? See, I haven't really played around with those much. I crafted a couple of those, but those allow water. They're water permeable, right? It can come through that grate.
I'm not sure. I don't actually play around with them.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Have you played around with oh my gosh, like the mangrove, the leafy part? You know how you can place that in the water, and I think
oh yeah, yeah,
water can go through that. It's permeable, or I
yeah.
don't know what they call it technically. But I was wondering, like, if the copper grate was the same mechanism or designed the same way, because I think that would be cool to almost like a gutter system in your city, using those.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
There's a lot of
like
things you could do.
yeah, there is like with the new copper blocks. I mean, you could do this before, but like with the new ones, you can make like a sewage system as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just really with the oxidization as well. It works really like fantastically. Um, I just think Mojang excel when they take a block that hasn't really got many uses or any in terms of tough, and just make it something outstanding. Um, they just do well at that. They know what to do.
Yeah, they do. I and like you said, that the noise, I do like their
Yeah, it's
like how
really
the
nice.
tough in that video that they released, that Minecraft release. I don't know if you caught that with how they do those little clips of like their employees at Mojang, but
Oh yeah, yeah, I watched that. Yeah.
that whole sound department, or that sound
Mm,
audio engineer, I don't know his title, but that was awesome to see how they
yeah.
make those noises. And that just makes me appreciate the game much more, how just they put that much more detail, into the game.
Yeah, I remember watching that video, and they were like talking about how they made the phantom noise.
Yeah. Yeah, the
And it
the
was like,
baby.
yeah, it was like the guy's baby crying. I'm like, what? How on earth do you take that into making a screech?
But that's amazing. Or even the
Yeah,
creeper face embedded into the audio itself.
yeah, that
That
is
is
like
insane.
insane. Yeah,
Well, we kind of went off topic there, but not really because we're talking about
no,
tough and
but like
noises.
but like it makes sense, right? They put so much effort into the sounds, like even the copper sounds. I really
Yes.
like,
Those are one of my
you know.
favorite. Walking on copper. I love that
Um,
sound.
and it's one of my favorite parts of the update where you see new blocks and it's like, okay, they're going to be great for building. We all know this, but the sounds are going to be really good, and they are.
Yeah,
So
perfect. I think I was talking, you may know Black Moonstone, I believe, on
yeah,
Twitter, about noises, and I was telling them that copper, I love the copper. But some people I've talked to, I know this off subject, but like noise, uh, some people are really like just find a block that they obsessed over the sound. Like a lot of people I found love shoveling sand just for the sound. And that intrigued
yeah,
me that people just obsess over a noise. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. But no, I'm glad that you enjoyed the copper and the tough variants. Have you been building a lot with those?
I mean, a lot of my like village I live in was built from stone brick.
Mm,
So I was like, I'm going to turn some of this into tough. Let's just add more variety.
nice.
Um, and it just looks a lot better with like other deep slate houses and stuff like that. Um, like, could you imagine trial chambers with stone brick? Like, I'm looking at the panorama right now. You like the screen, the main menu screen, and just imagining it with stone brick. It would look
Mhm.
so much worse, in
It
my
would.
opinion.
No, it would. I'm glad, and that caught me off guard. I did not think they were going to do anything with Tough until they
No,
made that announcement. I was like, wow, I didn't even think about Tough being involved or Copper, honestly.
no, I didn't either. I didn't because they could have quite easily done stone brick, and it would have just been like a glorified stronghold. And I guess that's why they didn't do stone brick because people would be like, well, is this part of the stronghold or you know? So I guess they had to do stone tough brick, but still.
Yeah, they had to figure out something new.
Mm.
Have you kind of breaking away from the copper bulbs and Tough? Have you played around? Obviously, you kind of mentioned that you were doing the ominous trials, right?
Yeah.
Um, how do you like the ominous events that they added? I have not done anything with those. I've collected a lot of ominous bottles, but they're just sitting there.
I think they're the future of the game, in my opinion.
Okay, that's what you were talking about last time before the release.
Yeah,
You
I
still
still
think
hold on to
that's
that belief. Yeah.
okay? And why is that?
Just like they present this whole new level of difficulty without the need for mini bosses, which I think is very good because Mojang could quite easily be like, and I'd have loved a mini boss in the trial chamber, but I'm fine with it not being there.
Hmm.
Because otherwise you have an issue of bloating the game with unnecessary mini bosses, you know.
Yeah,
Um, and it's like, well, here's an ominous event that's kind of like a mini boss, but in its own way. And Mojang do this a lot, where they'll take something and make it Minecraftified, where it's
yeah,
like not a real thing,
yeah.
um, like a real life thing. Like they talk about the warden as if it's like a natural disaster, you know, and I think that's amazing. But
I like that. That's
with
cool.
like ominous events, they've done so well, and I think the whole idea of it, the loot you get, I think it has a lot of potential for a lot of the old and maybe like new structures use it as well. But especially like the old structures could have a revisit completely with these events.
So, what is it you like about the ominous events? What is it that is revolutionary about them?
I like the mobs. Like the mobs are just literally just on steroids. Like they're just like, it does, like there'd be regular mobs like on hard mode. On hard mode, they spawn with like armor and stuff like that as well. But these are guaranteed going to spawn with enchanted armor.
Hmm.
Um,
Diamond armor as well?
yeah, diamond armor as well. Um, the ability, and this is with regular vaults as well, but the ability to get items for everyone. You know, everyone can get a mace or the heavy core to make the mace. And it's like, there's one structure that comes to mind that I think could really benefit from this, and it is the end cities and the end ship Elytra. Um, Making everyone be able to get that in one place rather than traveling sometimes tens of thousands of blocks away could really change up multiplayer, in my opinion.
The Elytra you're
Yeah,
talking about, right?
like you know how like if you get one Elytra, entities don't spawn that much. At least if like you're not lucky, you know. You're traveling thousands of blocks away. So with vaults, imagine like it'd probably be an ominous vault, I imagine.
Hmm.
The Elytra is what the heavy core is to trial chambers. Everyone can get it. You just have to do a trial event, get an ominous key, and you can unlock it and hopefully get one, you know?
I think that would be great. Like to be able to access Elytra before, not just in the end. I I think I don't know. I think it would just make it a little bit more equitable for everybody.
Mm,
I mean, I don't know. To I don't think you should have to go to the end in order to fly.
it depends. It really
But
depends.
yeah, I suppose it does depend. I haven't been to the end yet either. I'm just like a guy that's always playing in mid game. But
Yeah.
I plan on getting to the end eventually, but that'll be like when I start doing research and shooting episodes for the end. I'm just kind of going where I'm at, you know what I mean?
I
And
think like my advice to you, you say you haven't been to the end. I would wait.
wait,
Um, yeah, I would wait till the update announcement in Minecraft Live. If it is the end update, I'd wait even longer. If it isn't, then
okay,
yeah, go to the end straight away. Um,
okay,
but if you wait, if there is an end update, there's a chance that the dragon gets a revisit and you get a new fight of that. Um,
nice.
you'll have a better chance at the end islands because they'll probably get updated, you know. Um, so it'll be a lot easier for you than for me to explore the new end.
Yeah,
Um,
that I and I know a lot of people really want an end update. And
yeah,
I know
yeah,
we kind of trailed off, but do want to speak about the end, because you really want to see that in the next update.
yeah, 100%.
What is it that you want to see more of? I think you were, maybe I saw somebody else write this, that it's just literally too empty.
It is, yeah. There was this Twitter post by someone. I can't remember the exact handle, but it starts with Nova. Anyway, Nova.
Mm,
They made a post and it's like, here's all the Nether stuff in 1.16, all the blocks, all the mobs, like literally broken down. Here's the end: Endstone, Endbrick, Dragon Egg, Dragon Head, Elytra, Purpur, Chorus Fruit, Endrod. Like, and then you've got like a giant list of Nether stuff, and in the end, you've got like a dozen, if that, stuff.
not
And
much.
like it's just there's nothing there. There's nothing there at all.
To me, it seems like, okay, to me, okay, just, I know there's no end to the game of Minecraft. Like you could just play forever. Like there's no
Mm,
end goal, but some people consider the end to be kind of the completion, right? Killing the
yeah.
dragon. Well, like you said, it just doesn't seem like there's much of a reward go into that dimension. It's just, you're there's not much to gather there, right?
No, I mean you have the Elytra, but the issue with the Elytra is there's a lot of steps to get to it. Like, let's say a regular player kills the dragon, which is a big achievement in itself, right? So they've done that. They see this massive, well, not it's not massive, but the end gateways appear. what the hell is that? They could either ignore it and do something else, like go back to the overworld, or go for it. Okay, they choose to go for it. How on earth do you get through it? How are you supposed to know? Okay, you finally figure out, okay, you might need an ender pearl to teleport through it. Makes sense. You're in this empty area with just islands, and there's nothing but these purple trees. You don't know what they are. Um, sure, you eat them and you teleport. Okay, don't teleport off the map. That's a risk. Sure, I won't do that. Then there's entities. Like, how are you supposed to figure out all these things? I just don't understand it. For a new player, it must be so confusing to be able to get the elytra and then to be able to fly. There's so many people that are like, that I know, that are like, I don't know how to fly with the elytra, you know?
I don't know. I tried it once, but again, I need to get my PS4. I need to buy a new controller. That's the issue. I need a new controller for my PS4. But I'll say this for us more mobile players, Elytra's not fun. The render rate like on a tablet is horrible. It doesn't keep up with how fast you fly.
Mm.
Maybe newer tablets are better, but I don't like play on a really old tablet, and it's just I can't see where I'm flying because it won't load fast enough. You know what I mean? It's just it
Yeah,
won't keep up. And so my brother and I think I was in his world. I think he was playing creative, and I just tried Elytra once, and I quit shortly after. I was like, this just isn't fun for me. I can see why it'd be fun for you because it can keep up on your newest console that he has. So
yeah,
to me, the Elytra isn't really doesn't excite me until I get a new controller for my console, and it would be worth it to me, maybe, you know. But I've also heard a lot of people saying they should nerf down the Elytra.
yeah, no.
You
That'd be a
don't think
terrible
so?
mistake. No.
No, I
The,
didn't
way-
know what
the,
you thought about because I knew you like Elytra. I was just, what is your opinion on that?
the way to nerf the elytra is to indirectly nerf it by buffing the other movement mechanics, like the minecart stuff we've recently seen.
Hmm.
Um, make them better. Why are we nerfing the elytra to the ground and then making every single movement ability terrible? Like, I'd rather have one really good one than six really bad ones. That's
So
just
you,
me.
so you're happy with how Elytra is?
Yeah, uh, I am.
Okay.
I think like what you could do maybe is let's say they don't add vaults to the end, and it's just you collect it with the item frame that it's in when you go to the end city. Maybe make it completely broken. When you break an elytra, it doesn't like destroy. It doesn't get destroyed. It's like texture changes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like the wings look a bit more like weathered, and it looks a little bit more rough. You can't really fly with it.
I
So,
see.
well, if they've done that in the end, when you found a broken, so to speak, elytra, and you had to repair it first, or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
or like another nerf I'd accept is you can't fly too high because obviously like altitude and stuff like that, and you'll just
Mm-hmm.
come crashing down. You know, you don't need to like bomb the nether. I'm thinking too much for my world. The elytra. You don't need to like completely dismantle it because all the other systems are terrible. I agree that horses aren't good, that
I
boats
do
need a
not
bit of
like
work.
horses.
Yeah, so
I,
just buff them, you know?
they need to do something about the horses. I can't tell what it is. Like let them swim. Uh, that'd be nice. Because I'm
Like,
pretty sure in the Wild West, cowboys were able to get horses across rivers.
like I think because they recently they were able to go into boats, like horses, donkeys, and stuff like that. But then they removed it, and it's like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Okay, it's not great gameplay wise, but it makes sense. How about you bring it back and just make bigger boats? I don't know how
That's
you do that in the crafting menu, but just
yeah.
make them bigger.
Doesn't bamboo have a raft or
Yeah, yeah,
something
it
that
does.
and you can you load horses up on that? Isn't it a different mechanic or is it the same? I've never built one. I thought I read something.
I think it should. I
It
haven't built
should.
it either. I haven't
Okay.
used them.
I think maybe you can load up maybe a bigger mob on it. I'd have to don't fact check me for sure on that, but I do agree with you. I wish they would give us at least maybe I'm asking too much, but a second type of boat that you can build.
Yeah,
Like or a third type, I should say. We already have two. We have the regular boat and then the chest boat, but a bigger boat.
yeah,
Well, and make the horses also more. I don't know how you would do that going through trees. Honestly, you can't take a horse through a forest hardly. It's, I don't know. I just don't ride them. I have I think 4 horses in my world, and I don't use them at all. Just like the dog, which I was going to get to, or not the dog, but the wolf, which I was going to get to. I always want to call them a dog because to me they kind of seem like one.
yeah,
But I love the wolf armor and the
yeah.
armadillos and the armadillo scoots. But after I got my armor on my dog and I took off on my minecart to go, to go do my thing, the dog couldn't keep up and I lost it. My world's so big, I can't take a dog with me anywhere. It just doesn't keep up.
Yeah.
Like the allays. Like I have 2 allays that are trapped in various places in my world, like in a tunnel, and
Oh yeah,
and
the
it,
LAs get like stuck on blocks, don't they?
they're
Like they're really
worthless.
weird.
They get
Yeah.
stuck everywhere. I can't do anything with them. Like it just like the dog. It like unless I have it in that province, as I call them, in my realm. But if I like leave, they don't keep up, and I don't like that feature.
No.
Do you have that problem?
Oh yeah, 100%. You can't like fly and be like, I can't. You see the light shine and think, okay, if I leave the dog here, it will teleport. Surely. I'm only going like from A to B. Okay,
Yeah.
not even that far. Surely. Nope. Okay, what if I go into a boat and just swim A to B? The island. Nope. Okay. Minecart, like you say. Nope. Still there, not moving. Like,
Why is that? Why don't they make it so it just teleports once you get to that location?
I
Do they
don't
want it to
know,
be more
man.
realistic, or I guess I just don't get it.
I don't know. Like they had a good opportunity to rework the Wolf AI in the Armored Pause update. I think that's what they called it. Um, they had a good opportunity to, but they just didn't touch it at all.
Uh, Wow, I thought they were talking about it though, weren't they? Around
I
the
feel
wolf
like they
armor,
did.
I
I
thought
feel
they
like
were
they did.
too, and I
I could
thought,
be wrong on that, but like I feel like they did, but they just didn't. They worked more on like the health of the wolf.
uh huh,
Um, but like it's still done. Like it was still like let's say like you're for some reason in the Nether, and the wolf attacks a piglin that shot you, and the piglin is hit into lava. The wolf will still be like, "Oh, I guess I'm gonna jump in lava now," and it's
yeah.
like,
And we were talking about this grief last time we spoke about the wolves. I know I was kind of complaining about them. I was just like, I don't know. Now with the armor, which I absolutely love the armor. I do. I love
mm,
that you can
yeah,
dye it and you can equip them. And the armadillos are cool. I just like them. I like to
yeah,
see them out in the savannas and the badlands. They just they add something, to the background. I like it. I like how
yeah,
they curl up when you run up to them, and they're just really neat. But the wolves themselves, please, like, make it so I could take my loyal companion with me in my own world. Like, I don't want to just walk at a slow rate to get him there or tow him in a boat. I think you could probably tow it.
yeah. Like I think they should have with the wolf variants. They should have had like different attributes for certain wolf types. Like let's say the husky wolf like digs into snow, for example.
Hmm.
Like for whatever reason, might find I don't know, like could be anything. Like literally could find anything in the snow.
That'd be
Or
cool.
like um the hyena types that you'd find I can't maybe like in the savannas.
Yeah, they travel
I
in
think.
packs.
Yeah. Maybe they're more like you see it, but you know how wolves are very like derpy when they attack mobs. Maybe that's intentional, and maybe the hyenas are more like streamlined and more like what's the word, like experienced a bit.
Vicious.
Yeah, they're more yeah,
No, I
like
agree.
something like that would have been amazing, honestly.
Well, no, I agree with you. I, I definitely hope Mojang revisits the wolf one day and
Yeah,
makes those mechanics better. Because now I just have like four wolves in various places in my realm that are just sitting with armor on, and I just leave them there, like as guards. Like I have one in
yeah,
front of my bank, I have one in my very first like house that I built in my world, and I have one in another area. And I'm just like, okay, you guys just hang out there. I'll say hi to you when I ride by in my minecart, my rail system. But
yeah.
now that I said minecarts, that I do remember now, and I've been seeing all these crazy videos. And this, since we're on the subject, and this episode is going to be released today, so at least we're going to be relevant. um, um, what's going on with the redstone torches and everything? I've been seeing people launch minecarts like catapults into the air, and people are saying this might be a viable option for to replace elytra, like or
Oh,
a
it is the
compet.
funniest thing ever.
What is going
It's
on
so
there?
good.
Like I'm not
Um,
too red tech savvy, but
no, neither am I. I think them saying it's going to like rival the Elytra is a bit too much because it's a game rule. It's not an
exact.
actual like
Yeah,
thing.
you can't control after you launch. It's just one direction.
Yeah, and that as well. So I don't think it's going to really like do much. I think the jumping thing that the minecarts do now. Again, I don't know much about it because it hasn't come to Bedrock yet, so I don't really care. Um, but like the jumping thing that it does that I've seen, I think is more important long term. Of course, the speed stuff is fun, but again, it's behind a game rule, behind cheats, quote unquote. So
it it just
yeah,
blows my mind, Michael, because okay, my empire's all connected. Like I have probably over an hour's worth of rail if I had it all linked up and
yeah,
just writing. But I'm
mm,
thinking now I can what theoretically zip from 10,000 blocks to from one end, go 10,000 blocks from point A to B in what, like a second? um, like I've seen some of these, like it's going so fast, you just see the image change like twice because it can't keep up. It's just going around the track. You know, it doesn't even look like it's moving at one point because it's just going so fast. Um, so is this going to make it like how's that work? Do you it just did they make like the redstone torch distances, does it amplify itself? Is that what's going on there? Like,
I don't think the redstone torch has anything to do with it. I think the redstone torch, the only change was the texture change that they've done.
and I do like that.
Oh yeah, 100%. Anyone that says I'm sorry, anyone that says that the old one was better is wrong.
No, I
They're just
agree
wrong.
because aesthetically, it just looks better. Like, why would you have yeah? Before it was a regular torch with a little red.
Yeah, it was just like I'm sorry, it's just way better. And I hope they do that with more like redstone components. I feel like dispensers and um droppers should be more distinct from each other.
I do too.
Um,
They almost look identical, don't they?
yeah, like they're very, very similar. So I think they should. They're also very similar to furnaces, and I know not completely, but I wish they changed a little bit so new players, understand the difference. You know, does that make
Hmm.
sense?
No, no, it
Maybe
makes sense.
it might
You're
be a bit of a
spot
stretch
on.
to compare them, but like I don't know. I feel that they should definitely revisit some of the older. And they've done this with Pistons like a few weeks back when they changed the sounds of the Pistons.
I forgot about
Um,
that.
yeah, I think they reverted that though, didn't they? They was like, like people were like, no, this is terrible.
Yeah, because they had a massive backlash. I didn't even have a chance to hear what they sounded like,
No,
honestly.
no, I didn't have I listened to it, but I didn't have a chance to form my opinion on it because by the time I did, It was like, oh no, we're going back.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a funny thing. You almost have a couple parties in the Minecraft community that just don't like change, and then you have other people
oh my
that
God.
like change. And like I saw a post of like somebody was just livid. I don't know why they were ranting about the Nether, but they wanted it to be like the Nether from 2010. And I was like, why?
Yeah,
It's
like
just an
I
empty
asked that.
pit. That's pretty
Yeah,
much all it was.
I asked that, and people were like, well, it was easier to find the fortresses.
Okay. But I like
And I'm like,
complexity.
yeah, and I'm like, I'm sitting there like, okay, and it still is. There's just more stuff to find.
Yeah.
Like, like, like on Java, you have like the very like technical ways you can find a fortress. I don't know how to describe it, but there's certain people would describe them as cheats, but they're not. Because again, you can't cheat in Minecraft.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
there's like certain ways you can figure out with like just math where you can figure out it's not harder. There's just more stuff to find.
Exactly. It
Like,
makes the game more fun.
yeah,
I mean, who wants a more bare game? I mean, I don't know. That's just my opinion. I guess everybody has their own opinion.
no, I mean you're
Um,
right. The main thing as well from the old Nether is the Netherrack. No one,
yes.
no one sane on this earth wants to go back to that old Netherrack. I'm
It
sorry. If you
it
do,
was
you should
so
be
ugly.
like locked up. It was so bad, so noisy. And yes, the new one isn't perfect, but it still is way better than what we had.
I saw somebody say, "Who wants to go back to a block that looks like what meat? That looks like a
Yeah,
hamburger almost, raw
yeah.
hamburger."
So it's just so like the way it's described is like noisy. It's just like so chaotic. And it's like
It
no,
is noisy. You're right. It's visually noisy.
it's just
It's
so bad. I just don't understand. Like, yep, let's go back to that where there's only ghasts and ghasts.
but then we go back. But then we're in almost the end type situation. It's just a void,
Yeah,
an enclosed void. You know what I mean? No, I personally like to see more. I like to interact. The more things there are to interact with, just the better. You know what I mean? I just think the better it is, and I am excited about the bundles. That's something that's I think going to be an awesome add-on. Would
yeah.
you like to voice your opinion about bundles? I know we kind of talked a wee bit about that at the beginning, but I wanted to hear more about what you thought about bundles.
I mean, I'm not particularly going to use them much because I have shulker boxes.
Gotcha.
Um, and they're just a better bundle, like in every sense of the word. But they're going to be so good for multiplayer, so
Yes.
good, and like S&Ps and stuff like that. That can't be disputed.
Yeah, I think they're going to be great. I'm excited for them because I don't have shulker boxes.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. They're going to be like very, 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 very early game shulker boxes. Um,
I'm kind of
I don't, I
I
don't
have
think they can
mixed
solve the infantry issue, but they are
the
good.
you don't think it'll solve it?
No, not at all.
Um, do you think it'll help it?
Uh, yeah,
You've
no,
played around with them in experimental, right?
yeah,
I
yeah, I
have
have.
not yet. And why is it that you don't think bundles will be more efficient for our carrying capacity?
It's just that they only carry a stack, don't they? And that's it.
Is it really just like how many slots do they have? Like five or something?
I think it's, don't quote me on this. I think it's infinite until you get a stack.
Okay, so it can
I
all in
think,
all store 65 items of what of an assortment, right?
I think,
Okay, so it
yes.
okay, I see. So I guess that doesn't really add an extra inventory space at all. It's
No, not really.
interesting. I didn't know how that worked.
And
I
like, let's say you
guess,
go into like the trial chambers, pots, like the pottery shards, I mean, the iron ingots, the gold. There's a lot of that. You're going to get a stack very quickly.
yeah, extremely quickly. I thought maybe it was like this bundle. I thought it was like a bundle. You had that in one of your inventory spaces. And I thought like each space in the bundle could hold a stack of 64. I guess I misread. I Yeah, that doesn't really solve much, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Well, I'm still excited about it. However, I I I was kind of excited. I don't know. I'm up in the air on this because before, when they were planning on making the bundle or crafting it, it was with rabbit hides, and now it's just regular leather from a cow that you can get. I kind of liked it when it was just rabbit hides because I thought it gave the rabbit, a reason to interact with the rabbit more and to go into those biomes to get rabbits. And I was kind of excited for that excuse. But that was just me. I know it makes it more easy to make the
Mm.
bundle with just leather from cows, but
No,
I don't.
honestly, I agree with you. I'd much preferred it with rabbit hide because I feel like if you stick with the rabbit hide recipe, you can do a rabbit overhaul completely. Like have a drop that's like armored paws update, where it's just bundles and rabbits. You retexture the rabbit, you make it spawn more. Like rabbit hide drops more frequently, for example.
Yeah.
But no, now that I think that is completely like gone out the window because now it's one leather and one string. Like,
Yeah. Oh, is it just one leather and one string?
yeah, that's it.
Wow. Okay, that's a big change. I didn't know that it. I thought it would have still been like four leathers or something. You know what I mean?
Mm. No, it's just
Wow,
one.
that's very economical. That's very easy.
Yeah,
Well, I'm going to try it out when it does release. I'm excited to try to find a trial chamber as well. Also, I really kind of want to try out this auto crafter because, like I've said 1,000 times on the show, I love rails. My whole empire's connected by rail, and it'd be so easy if I could figure out how to use an auto crafter to just pump those out, just to auto craft. And have you played around with that?
I haven't. I haven't touched them. Honestly, I've made like I've crafted the auto crafter,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm again too like redstone illiterate to figure out how to use them. I want to because there's recipes like the rail and the dispenser that's so annoying to craft.
It is.
Um, that having that set up would be amazing.
I think
So I
so
want to.
too. I've seen YouTube videos of people that have it's insane what they've built with an auto crafter. Like you can make anything some of these people have set up. It looks like they spent hours. And I
Yeah,
built an auto crafter. I tried playing around with it and I could not get to work for the life of me. I need to sit down, I think, for a good chunk amount of time and try to figure it out because I was reading Minecraft.net's article on the auto crafter and how to use it, and it was very vague. And then I just need to sit down and watch YouTube videos from the masters. You know what I mean? Like that is something I feel like I'm missing out on in my Minecraft experience is redstone. I feel like I need to educate myself more on that.
yeah. Redstone opens up so many possibilities.
I mean, you could do almost anything with it. But I've played around with redstone, but I find it difficult to even make my track switch, by doing that. I have
Yeah,
that in a couple places, but it's so like you have to lay out so many blocks just to make a simple switching mechanism. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
I even have a redstone book my brother gave me. I need to look at, see how all that the mechanics work behind it.
Mm,
So
yeah.
what else are you excited for that's going to be what are you looking forward to with this Minecraft live event?
Um, I want to see how it's structured because, and what I mean by that is if it's filled with a bunch of stuff I don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
Bluntly, like previous Minecraft lives have been very, especially last year's. I don't even watch a lot of the last year's. Um, have been bloated by very corporate and irrelevant stuff. Like, okay, I'm so glad these people enjoy Minecraft, but realistically, I'm here to see one thing, or two things in the case of mob votes, but one thing and one thing only, and that is the next update. Um, if you're going to have a new game, like a new spin-off, sure, be my guest, all for it, but at least make it survive longer than a year, um, and not dedicate an event that happens once a year to it when you know it's not going to survive so long.
Yeah, what is
Um,
going on there with this new game? Like, have
I have
they?
no idea.
Yeah, that was like that's all speculation, right? That was just filling maybe a slot. Wasn't it Tricky Trials was like
I
what
think
is
like
the new game? Like I know like they posted something and it showed like Legends, Minecraft, da da da, and now this, right?
yeah,
But it was like almost a filler spot, like they're about to announce something. I don't know. I read
I
a
have no
lot of
idea.
stuff. There's so much going on right now. What do you think the new game would be?
Um, I think it could be like a, oh, that's a hard one. I'd like them to do one primarily based on parkour,
Oh wow, that would be
like a,
neat.
like a, like a 2D like platform parkour game.
Hmm.
I'd really like that. I don't know why, but like realistically, what other options do they have? Um,
I don't
okay,
know.
Dungeons 2, but why? Why make a Dungeons 2 and why not just like bring back to life Dungeons, which was arguably the most popular spin-off of them all. And there's not really much competition because Minecraft spin-offs pretty poor. I think. I think
I've
that's a
never
good
played
assessment to
them.
make.
I
I've played a bit of Dungeons,
was any
but
good?
yeah, yeah, 100%.
In Legends,
Um,
like I heard, was not good.
I haven't played Legends. In Dungeons, there's a whole end DLC called the
Hmm.
Echoing Void, and when you talk about the end update, a lot of people want that DLC to be the end update for the core game,
I
um,
have
because
seen
it is so
people
good.
post. I've seen pictures of the dungeon, what you just described, and it just looks amazing. I don't even know how to describe myself what I've seen, but it looks really cool.
Yeah.
So the
Obviously,
dungeons, like,
Earth got cancelled, and yeah, Dungeons just the most popular by a long shot.
I might have to go try to play that sometime. Yeah, I'm just not familiar with any of that. I just there's so much in the main game of Minecraft, you know. I've just been focused on that for the past couple
Yeah.
years. Well, Michael, this kind of brings me to the end of the show. I just wanted to ask, do you have anything else you'd like to say about the 1.21 update?
Um, it was definitely a good update, but Mojang still haven't learned, I think, of the core issues that surround every update.
And maybe
And
that's just because they are under the gun with time constraints, like you said.
yeah, and I am a little bit concerned about the next update, but I'm also very optimistic because I think the next update is going to be like on a level of 1.16 greatness. So
I Yeah, the past couple of weeks with Realms going down and the worlds that you said deleted, ironically with bug fixes and all those issues, at least they increased our render rate, which is amazing to me.
Oh yeah, they
To
did.
me,
How do you feel about that? Because I don't play around with Realms, so is that like actually good?
yes, the last time they did it, it was like right off the bat, I could tell. But yesterday, I believe is when they announced that from 20 to 25 blocks, they increased it 5 blocks further. I don't think it has updated on my game. I think I need to go into my app and not reinstall it, but re-update it. And I think that will automatically, because I should have access to it right now.
Yeah,
But I personally, last night when I was on briefly, I didn't notice a difference. So I think I'm just going to try to not reinstall it, but just update it and see what it looks like. But it's crazy how a 5 block difference changes so much. Uh,
oh yeah,
I love it. Like that last update on rendering, amazing. I felt like a person that just got glasses for the first time
yeah.
or something. You know what I mean? It
Mm.
felt like my world was much bigger, and I love that. So I'm pleased with that. And I honestly, I know that we've kind of went through and critiqued a lot about this 1.21 update in our discussion today, but I love everything Mojang does. Like seeing those
Yeah,
videos like we talked about with their team. It seems like they have a very intimate team over there. And like just seeing the like how the audio engineer made all the noises for the game. I love that stuff. I think they do a great job doing that.
yeah. I think so too. And like, I think I don't want to. I didn't want to spend today slating Mojang because I do, like you say, I really like Mojang.
Mm,
But it is important for me, at least, to be able to say, "Hang on a minute, this isn't right." And
exactly.
they've made a few mistakes, like in the past week with Realms, but they've also, I think, I don't use Realms, so maybe I'm wrong to say this. I think they've redeemed themselves with the render distance, with the 7 days like increase to the subscription. I think they did.
Hmm.
Um, I think players now get like a 7 day boost, which is,
Well,
from my understanding, pretty good.
that's what I've heard too. And honestly, Michael, when that was all going down, I was telling my girlfriend because all the comments I was reading, like I read some nasty comments about Matt Mojang, like I'm going to sue you, give me my days. And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, I literally pay $4.99 a month for this subscription. Like I know it's money, but
Yeah,
come on, you're going to you're throwing people are throwing fits. This happens. Like no system, especially at this level. And I'm not even a technically inclined person, but I can understand that this massive of a system, this will happen. This probably won't be the last time something like
it
this
won't.
occurs.
It won't.
It's like you're getting so outrageous over 5 to 7 days. I get it. It's frustrating, but I was just like, people just calm down a little bit, and then you know they compensated everybody, and they gave us more, and
Yeah,
so I was I was a little bummed out after like day 3 or so, but I was like, they need to just. It doesn't help when everybody's breathing down their neck, to get this going. They're doing the best they can do. They don't want this to happen.
yeah,
And I do. I love everything Mojang does. I think it's a great studio. I think they're amazing. My hat off to them. They
yeah,
made a great game, and they
yeah. I
add
trust
on
them.
to it.
I trust them completely.
Yeah, it's just, but we have the right to complain. We
Yeah,
give them so much praise, but we can make our little complaints every once in a while. And with
yeah,
that said, Michael, I really do. I know we've been talking for months about getting together and discussing again. And it just with our time constraints and living in other parts of the world, we just haven't been able to make that happen. And I'm very much appreciative that you made it onto the show today.
No, yeah, I am too. It has been a very long time. And like you say, like so much has happened where like we had to sit down and talk about it because there was a lot, especially in the past week alone, you
A
know?
lot, a lot going on with you. I'm so happy you got your world. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
I am. And there's going to be a lot to talk about. You're going to have to come back on the show again soon because with the live and they just keep making an announcement, it feels like,
Yeah.
which is an exciting time for Minecraft, I think. I mean, they're doing a lot of stuff, not even just with the game, but they got a movie coming out in less than a year. They have a TV show coming out. I mean, they have bath bombs.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
Sure. So I don't know. I'm excited to get you back on the show, hopefully soon. And I think, Michael, whenever you're on the show, we're just going to release these the day of, if I'm able to, or the day after. So they're
Yeah.
super relevant.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
But do you have any shout outs you would like to give? Any plugins?
I would love to shout out my Discord server and the people on it. We spoke a lot today about my world. I would have not played it again without them. They helped my mental a lot, including you, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Um, I got a lot of DMs and a lot of people coming to me and be like, snap out of it. What are you doing? Play the world, you damn idiot. And I'm still I probably wouldn't be on the podcast. I would probably like quit Minecraft entirely.
I was
Um,
almost a little concerned about that, Michael.
yeah.
I was
Uh,
like, I don't
but
want you to leave Minecraft.
yeah, so I'm here now, and again, I can't thank like people over Twitter, even though a lot of people don't like me. Um, it's fine.
I
There's a lot
would
of
say
people.
that there's always
I don't
griefers
know.
out there and whatnot.
Yeah, of course. But there's a lot of people, and I came to realize this that do, and I just wanted to thank them a lot. A lot of them may be listening to this when it comes out, and yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for everything you do. It means a lot to me.
Well, you mean a lot to us in the Minecraft community, the people that know you, Michael. We all love seeing what you do with your world, and you always have great things. I've been following you since I started this podcast, so it's always a pleasure. And I want to get you back on the show here again soon if you have time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
That's that's awesome. I look forward to it, and you have a great rest of your weekend.
you too. You too.